Johannesburg is known to be the largest man-made forest in the world, and Robin Hood and the Babes in the Hood are here to take over our creeds with their pantomime right here at the Joburg Theatre. Let's go and check it out.
Robin Hood and the Babes in the Wood. It's a combination of two English folklore tales. Robin Hood is, interestingly enough, the most filmed of all English folklore tales. There's been more films based on Robin Hood than any other story in history, which is very interesting. Babes in the Wood has been put together with Robin Hood before now. We're not the first people to do it, to link the idea of the Sheriff of Nottingham and the two little kids in the forest. So what we've done is taken two tales and put them together and made it into a pantomime. We have to decide on the title we want to use at least 2 years ahead, because we get the scenery and costumes from England, from a company that are the kind of kings of pantomime around the world, and they have huge stores of sets. So it's necessary that we tell them what subject we want to do so that we can be certain they've got a set and costumes for that. The next process really is to get the star names you want. You know, we always like to have names above the title that the people know, they recognize, hopefully love, you know.
So Friar Tuck is a bit of a slimy guy. He's sometimes a preacher, sometimes he's a politician, ex-politician, you know. He was a councillor.
I'm the head of the regiment, in other words, the troops that are of Robin Hood's crew. I'm the head of that crew, but I mean, I get into it later once they discover that I'm a good stick fighter, you know, as an African man would be, you know? Yeah.
I am disguising myself as a male so that I could be part of Robin Hood's gang. And they fall for it, so they let me join.
You know, the thing about the pantomime, that's the fun about the pantomime, is that we can sort of take a classic story, or what do they call them, a fairy tale story, and sort of bring it to today. And that's why people love them, you know. People always know, because it happens at the end of the year, we kind of take all accounts that has happened, you know, in the year, things that has happened locally and internationally. Here's the thing, there's always some kind of educational value. Just because we know the content, it doesn't necessarily mean somebody sitting out there knows it, you know. So we just did a show now for children, you know, and there's always something that clicks, that kind of goes, oh, is that what it is? I didn't know, you know. So I believe, I'm one of those people. By the way, I studied to become a teacher, and I always believe that you teach children better if you entertain them, you know. And you've seen even little children, even adults, you know, people learn faster when something is interesting, and entertainment is always interesting.
Did you just call me a monkey, Penny?
People are saying left, right, and center that this is one of the best pantomimes. So because there's a great ratio of adult humor as well as children's humor, so it taps into everyone across the board, so no one's left out. But I mean, like, you're exposed to stories of which people are interpreting to you live. Anything can happen on stage. So what you were expecting from a performance that you may have seen last week to a show that you're watching today of the same show could change. You never know. Live theater is not a movie, because you never know what you're going to get. And the thing about live theater, it's not one-dimensional like watching a TV screen or a movie screen. It's three-dimensional. So especially with pantomime, the audience is allowed to interact with the people on stage.
Listen, South Africa's got such a small industry. And sometimes it sort of bites us in the back. You see the same faces in every single thing, and then it doesn't leave much room to actually develop something or to find a character. But the people who have training, you can tell the difference, you know. First and foremost, go to school. You know, it's not just an overnight thing. And that's one of my passions, to be able to when you're on stage, actually portray that you are professional in what you're doing. And it's not just something that you found off the streets kind of thing. So it is a professional career. I don't have a backup. So I make sure that I make the most of what I do. So the preparation is vital. The understanding of the material is vital. And also the giving. A large part of our on stage work is giving to an audience because it's in the now, as opposed to television where you could cut, edit, post and where it's on stage. If you make a mistake now, you must be able to fix it right now and still be convincing.